Like in all the nations of the world, the powerful political elites will determine who governs us. Like a proverbial knees on our necks, this nation is choking. We can no longer breathe. There is a shortage of air. We need to allow this nation thrive. I'm pleading with you tonight on behalf of millions of our people, more than 10 million of their children who are out of school, and more than half of the population who are in abject poverty. This nation cannot be taken as a private enterprise anymore. You, the ordinary Nigerian, can no longer keep quiet. The nation belongs to all of us. And this time around again, no sitting on the fence. We must speak up to rescue this nation. The continent of Africa is waiting for its giant to rise up and flourish. That is why 2023 election is a make or mar. Look, this nation cannot make a mistake with the choice of its next leader. It is a must we get it right. If you employ the best hands to run your private companies, we should have the best of us run the affairs of this nation. We must get leadership right, not only at the center, but across the states. Knowledge, crisis management skills, character and integrity, vision and courage to make tough decisions, effective communication skills, ability to unite the nation. Leaders who cannot show these traits cannot be hired. Enough is enough. Nigeria, arise, vote and vote right, and your time is now.
Mende. Oh my God. Oh, wow. What is Oh my God. Woo. Man, I think say it go take me 20 years before I go feel look back to 2023 and laugh. But I'm laughing right now. Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. My people, according to Ewela Rochas Okorocha, the man who has transformed the city of Uri to rival that of San Francisco and Nashville. Man of Prestige, if you are there, this is a shot at you. I beg, I don't know if I'm audible. Anybody they hear me, please. I know I say I get like two people they watch. Please, if you can hear me, just show me a sign. GMS go say, God, show me a sign. Let me know that I am clear. I can be heard. Anybody there, they hear me. Before we go into the nitty-gritty of today, according to Wiki, integrity, the integrity group, and Daredwala will mock Wiki die with that integrity today now. Oh God. Ah, we go learn. I talk about after this election, we go learn. We will learn about the country. We will understand a little bit of politics. It's as if we are learning fast. Come, I don't know. Can anybody hear me? I beg. Jesus Christ. What do I do? How do I find out this? Okay, yes. Okay, all is well. So, my people, according to Rochas, welcome to the first episode of Part of the Problem. And today we will focus on what our useless elite, our useless leaders, with a specific focus on my South people, Southern Nigerian leaders. Remember the so-called 19 governors who came out and cried the presidency must come to the north and all that shit. And that gave momentum. But the scatter as power was beginning to yield to them, right? One obvious thing that I noticed, a person that blacklist bring to my attention yesterday. When we get Abuki as president, my people, my southern leaders, they will be up in arms every given opportunity. Resource control, restructuring, restructuring, restructuring. Ah, oh, eh. Rightly so. It's a good thing. Today, they don't get southern president. What's they do now? What's their energy? Now dance they dey dance. And dancing from Elumeli out to Davos to Rivers to Benin to everywhere. That's what they do. That's not the main issue yet. Anyway, before we continue, I don't know, anybody notice I don't push this broadcast from from 11 to 3 to 4. That is because at a late hour, I get informed that Nigeria they play. As Super Eagles they play Africa Cup of Nations. So which I know they watch. I don't know. I have no idea. So I say, okay, let me be patriotic enough and allow let me not torture the people that will want to listen to my Simon today, but at the same time I want to watch the match, and it's not fair for you to fight for the attention. So hence the shifts from time to time. So I don't know. I don't know what is going on. I don't know the play. And funny enough, I've not run through social media, any news to get any news or any what is happening. I actually did listen to Trump interview with Tucker Carlson. Anyway, that's the story for another day. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the Super Eagle. Are they super today or they are super chicken? Make I Google am. Make I Google what's the Super Eagle of Nigeria play. Super Eagle. Super Eagle of Nigeria. Wait a minute. 1-0 full time. Gonna Bissau. Okay, okay. Congratulations. Okay, so they qualify pretty much. You get like 6 points or 7 points. So their next match will be January 27th. Congratulations, Naija. Anyway, so I just found out that the Naija don't enter. Naija has literally qualified 3 out of 3. They won 2 out of 3. So they drew the first one, which is 1 point. Winning 2 matches, that's three points, that's 6 points, 7 points. They should be topping that group. So, well, a step further, something Nigerians to cheer about, to drink to, and possibly to fight over too. Anyway, all joy. It's all part of the religion called football, soccer. So, yes, on our southern elite, they went hell on anyone that questioned the fact that the presidency will not find its way to the south. And to fair enough, majority of the southern people supported that. Except me, I never supported that. I say fuck it. Let the best whoever will win. I don't care where the president come from. And these are some of the reasons. So these useless leaders cut across both the private sector, did everything they could, and they got their wish, and immediately forgets the journey. Immediately forgets people who they partner, they sign a partnership with for this journey, which are the people. They started throwing parties every nook and cranny. They did dance. Southern Nigeria is one of the most richest region, not just in the country and the continent, but in the world compared to the size and the population and the resources that is abound in that region. But we have group of elites, group of useless leaders, both economic, both business, religion, across every spectrum of our all useless leaders could not use that to their advantage. They could not negotiate for a better healthcare. No, nothing. Rather, they rather to take their money outside and build palaces. Azari Tokubo would dey brag, say in building University for Benin Republic. We don't see that as an issue. Might take a memory lane back to, I think in the 70s or in the 80s, definitely some of the 90s that I know of, when the likes of Hebrews, when they're everywhere as a business people. They have rubber companies, newspapers, everywhere they were representing that region to the fullest. What do I mean representing? They are providing job, not just in that region, but across the nation. We have elites who those and they live their life pretty much in Nigeria because they invested in so much infrastructure that they can play around with. They invested in hotel, Nikon, Sheraton Hotel at that time. They live largely within the country. They don't decide to see they won't carry their weight. Even though the Hebrews won't have origin, well, I mean, when I mean origin, one of the Hebrews marry a Caucasian, marry Oyibo come. The leaders period told these people we will get now are more nationalistic, are more they have pride with themselves. But not that the people that we have now. I'm not just talking about the governors, talking about those who are literally in government, likes of Igbo who literally have to be disgraced outside the country. Why? Because the money meant to actually this is why I the more I find out about these people, the more they just I don't even know how to qualify this. I don't know. I don't you as a human being think like that. You have money, you have power. Instead of for you to make your immediate environment now, forget the whole environment, a palace, a place, because that is the only safe abode for you. No, you pack all the resources, the wrong, go the people that put you in a perpetual, people who conquer you, people who change your literally your existence. And you think you will have a very I don't even know the idea, the ideology behind that. Because now only us, only our rich people think like that. That you can find, you think you can find comfort in another man's land is beyond me. No other elite that I know of in this world thinks like that. The more I travel around America, the more I see every village, every town, every city, those who run that city find a way to create a playground for them and their community and their kids. They make that immediate environment so conducive, up to date to the point that they don't even have to leave their state. I went to school in North Dakota. Made most people for South not even know what that is. Not talk of where that is. And it's a state in America. Same goes to the people who live in North Dakota. Why? The people who run every society, who run North Dakota, have no reason to the run, consider they won't go build mansion for LA, New York, Atlanta. No. Instead, they build New York, LA, Atlanta, in North Dakota. There's literally no infrastructure that you're going to find in New York, anywhere in America that you're not going to find in North Dakota. So now only our elites, our business elites, even our religious elites that I give credit to these days, based on the kind of infrastructure they are building, I don't have to necessarily agree with the auditorium, the billions they are spending in building that infrastructure. But that's what they believe they need. That's what they are working towards. Oh. I'm talking about the religious leaders. At least they don't have to go to New York to go hold crusade, even though they do it. But you will understand the value chain of it. They are there to make money. And that's why I respect them so much. Yes, they have property across the world. But guess what? The most thing that they invested there the resources of that organization for is the infrastructures, and they are building it in Nigeria. They could as well go build that head district in Israel or in Dubai, in Saudi Arabia, and they will find a way to convince Nigerians that because that na holy land be that, that's where. But they didn't do that. So I expect if I give it to them, the likes of winners are building schools. Yes, we can criticize their modern of operandi, who can afford and who cannot, but they are putting infrastructure in their own land. They will run it as they fit. They will run the ideology through those schools as they want. You can argue that they are also controlled by Western capitalists. That's a different ball game. But as far as I'm concerned, they are actually getting a good deal from the negotiation because there is no way you can keep everybody out of your affair. You have to negotiate on a strong ground based on what you are offering. That's why I respect the religious leaders on that aspect. I don't necessarily have to agree with what they are doing, but that's what they believe. If you don't agree with it, if the lawyers are saying no, 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 what are your elites doing? Where are all the resources that they've been stealing or they've been legitimate? They can't they come on go build outside. Our doctors will be complaining that hospitals no day. For God's sake, it's been 60 years. We have Nigerian doctors who are successful across the world. What stop them from common building infrastructure? Build and say no be all na only una family and the rich people within yourself who can afford it. Fine. I don't think Nigeria will be mad. Just like the church, people they vex, but the Christians are happy. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm happy for them too. At least we have something to brag about. So the doctors, what have you guys? I'm speaking to the cream that are cream of the doctors, the elites. Una no fit build hospital to prove that you guys are thinking inward, that you guys because I am raising all these questions because they are part of the problem. These people are successful to the point that they are putting their investments outside the country. We can argue the country is not safe, it's not secure. That's a legitimate concern. But is it a problem that we cannot solve? Why is the country not secure? It is because you don't have interest in the country. Your neighbor who is a lawyer doesn't have interest in the country. Your neighbor who is a successful businessman doesn't have interest in the country. None of your successful friends have interest in the country. So why will it be secure? Because whether we like it or not, these politicians facilitated the resources they use to manipulate everybody through these professionals, via the banks, via the churches, via the mosques, via everywhere. That's how they because they are friends, even if they are not related. Billions of naira has been literally transferred to Niger Delta. Can our elite account for it? Yes. They all have millions of dollar worth of property outside Nigeria. Imagine if those properties were built in Niger Delta. They'll find roads to connect each other. Why do I have to make Niger Delta conducive when I always spend 1 day in a week there or 1 week a year there? And they will justify why they cannot. A senator will tell you need an SU because his constituency is not motorable. And that person is still there. We are not hungry. Me will be fuck up first. And I will treat my fuck up immediately. That's the part that's the part of the followership. Now other problem to be that. But today I'm comparing the elites from the south, from the southern Nigeria to elites across the world, their counterpart. Ours are the most useless ones. Pat Utomi DTV, they run him out. Pat Utomi has been part and parcel of every political structure since 1999. As an intellectual, they help them to design constitution of the party, how party should run every day. They come, they quote. It's part and parcel. They're his friends. Today, if we audit that man, half of his wealth is outside of the country. He goes in Nigeria and I say, now your friends. Amechi too was running his mouth because all of a sudden now your eye don't clear. You're out of the system. If only you invested the money that you are, because if you x-ray these people, they have their property outside the country. If if we mandate these people to invest their stolen wealth within that Nigeria, within their respective domain, Nigeria will be better off. We will have lights, we will have roads. It is freezing cold across America. For these motherfuckers, we rather come out day here dressed like masquerade, can't do shit with their billions, millions of dollars invested. Why if to say you put half of that in your village, in your village environment, you will be smiling. Why as we dey dress for like masquerade here, you'll be living life. That will even attract the people that you are coming to glorify here to come and invest there and live because average Western man is looking for where to expose themselves to the sun because they know the usefulness during winter like this. Only those who cannot afford to move that are still here when it's cold. Those who get bad, they Arizona, they Vegas, they California, they outside the country. You find them in Nigeria. But you will see our own, they will carry their grandparents, come they sit down for inside cold, they will dey shiver. Like, who do us like this? An average house member in the southern Nigeria don't have his family live in Nigeria anymore. All their family live outside Nigeria. How do you expect the environment to be better? Again, I am comparing our leaders, business leaders, religious leaders, traditional elites, how useless they are compared to their counterparts. They enjoy being a slave anywhere they find themselves just because they don't trust themselves. Man of Prestige, IOV, will join later if you are still on, taking care of business. Currently, Eagle, Eagle, okay, labor to one victory through our wait, through an own goal. Oh, now own goal said that they win. Well, victory na victory. Congratulations to them. Man of Prestige. How's Ghana? How's Ghanaians doing? So, part of the problem is the people who 99% of our small money wey we fit retain from the stolen people hand goes to they maintain their lifestyle, but they turn around, take that money and take it outside the country just to even buy food. Let's take a minute and just think about it. The small money wey we dey retain, we use it to maintain our elites, but they turn around and take that money and go and invest it outside the country. Do we even allow these people to still living in our midst and still hold power and still run businesses? If we force these people to live among us, to invest their solid wealth among us, we will have light, we will have good roads. Because every woman be one live, one play around. Nobody go fit just stay one place. So the more the Ondo man, the Ondo elite will make sure he put Ondo other because he knows say the Ekiti man will come visit him and he's gonna come with. So we are so bombarded with noise that the common things that we supposed to dey see among us, they take care of within ourselves. We can't see it. Make we just think back. Take community by community, village by village. 30 years ago, most of the villages were more well organized. And they were organized by people who are not well educated, who are not well exposed. They achieved that well organized community because that's all they got. Every of their doing is there. They go grow up there, die there. So they have no choice than to make it functional. But today we are so exposed and educated. We dey run away for what we supposed build. We dey go build other people community. They give us every year that they bombard us with budget 400 million, 400 that, 400 that. But we forget that at the end of the day, the money is still going outside. Now, I'm not even talking about the foreign people that comes here just invest 1 billion, take 100 billion. And that's not even. I'm talking about our own people, like you, village man. You will in only Nigeria, you will find out a man from a village who has never traveled outside of the country, but has over 100 million investment in Houston. He never fly come out before. Just because he was able opportunity to be a director of one ministry, he so thing, one local government so thing. But he has estates in California. How does that even make sense? How will allow one to they fly? They baffle me. I don't just understand. Ekitima will join the looting campaign. Now, loot the money, invest that for Ekiti. That's all we are saying. Make Ekiti playground from you. How a billionaire, a whole billionaire go say, oh, I get to. You cannot. These people have luxury cars, but they can't even drive it within their community. But how that even go? I don't understand how people. What's your point of acquiring the wealth? When you travel across America, you see how elite they build playgrounds. As far as I'm concerned, whole Vegas now just they do that for just to play. Because when you go to Vegas, the infrastructure you see in Vegas, all these hotels and everything, there is no way those motherfuckers are making profit. If not the fact that the government of the day, who is run by their elite, are subsidizing those businesses for their own play. That's where they play. There's no rules in Vegas. So what is wrong with our own elite that they cannot do a thing like that? No one street is functioning now. I don't need generalize that for them. I'm focusing on the southern Nigerian elite. Politician will come out last year ago, bombard everybody. Presidency must come to the south. Now you have it in the south. When the north, anytime when northern person be president, every minute they will find out, they will find every comment, every any opportunity our southern leader have, they will slide in these two phrases: resource control, restructuring. From an Ekiti man to an Edo elite to Akwa Ibom, every single one of them, whenever we find a northern person as a president, all the southern leaders they would cry, shout, resource control, and then resource control. Today, you have a southern person as a president, the person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. All I see is dancing. Every one of them are dancing around the whole world. All of a sudden, we don't need restructuring again. We don't need resource control again. Why? Because now our own person. And if it's just a protest anywhere in the north now calling for that, we go say no. Like as much as I want to focus on bringing pointing out the only the elite responsible for not being futuristic enough, we too will not dey try. Gone are the days when Odo Ekiti are known for education and integrity. 419 plenty there now. If you are in doubt, ask Fayose and Ade. See, like I mean, it's this the way they talk so. This is our reality, and it's sad. Ondo and Ekiti, just as you said it, I see no reason why those. That's one of the poorest. That's what that people know they talk about. We always want to talk about states that is drilling Nigeria. We always focus on the north. On Ekiti, for instance, they know they give anything to Nigeria. I am saying that because the power, the intellectual power, with concentrated in that region is enough. With all the two states, it's enough. It's enough to change that to change those two states. But no, it's as if even the elite are more foolish. I'm not just in fact, if I study the word foolish, it's as if I'm even glorifying them. They just want to remain conquered for the rest of their life. This Ekiti, where would they talk? So most of them, you go across the world, you see the sons and daughters of Ekiti. They run institutions, universities, and every and professors and everywhere. But the benefit is not being felt for their immediate environment. The excuse is that oh, government is not working. Wait till be the government. You people finance the government. You people shaped the ideology, shape the people perspective regarding what power is, regarding what politicians are. So now they head the, I mean they have a role to play anyway. A businessman will tell you, oh, government is not doing well. Now they sponsor the government directly or indirectly. So is that that anytime when any rich person tell you, oh, the government is not doing well, is that the person is just looking straight to your face and calling you are stupid, or he is stupid because the politician rely on the experience and the expertise of those businessmen, all those professionals across the length and breadth of our community for them to succeed. I mean, for if there's anything between Buhari and Tinubu so far, let's count the amount of professionals that have been indicted or accused of stealing or laundering billions of money. Professionals, accountants, some of the best people that in their field. These are not politicians. They've never won the training they make go for me. I will go. No, the MFLA of this world. These are professionals. So when we talk about the elites, those are the people. And again, now then they shape our conversation. And they always use the media as an example. A clear and clear example is Arise News, Arise Organization. Follow the money. Where is the loyalty of the owner of Arise? That's all you need to know. You don't. Some people they pay attention to Rufai, to Abati, to Ogen. No, those people are doing their this. They are good at what they do, right? But when the Ogapada, when the ideology, that's where it matters. This man is on every convoy, every entourage on Bola Tinubu outside this country for business transaction. That's all you need to know. Whatever they are about, they will find they talk. But that no man, that's not them to just they are positioned to fool you. They are not do they are doing it with the best of their ability anyway. So that's why they are employed. That's their job. Their job is to just get you confused. That's why they will never talk, discuss relevant issues. So that's how you look at this elite, how they roll. The owner of Arise, where is the Allegiance, the owner of channels, where is Allegiance? The owner of I mean, is it for us to say, oh, what is it, LTV or whatever that one that Bola Tinubu has? It's easy for us to call that one because that one is glaring, right? But equally, the other ones are more evil, more dangerous to our society. That's why when I don't know, the doctor that appears on Dr. Damage's show on Saturday, we pride ourselves as a journalist, as a media consultant. Do you know the importance of the role that you are playing? Then you can't come in front of us, they tell of rubbish. You say you are not the politician. Oh, the politicians are doing exceptionally well. Like, where are you? Who are you? And that is the problem we have. Arise, they go come tell you, say, Bola Tinubu na investor, Bola Tinubu na criminal, Bola Tinubu na fool, Bola Tinubu. But the owner of people who they pay those people salary is in a business dealing with the person that they are calling that is a criminal. So who is a criminal? They say, show me your friend, I'll tell you who you are. Bola Tinubu is a criminal. Oh, we all agree. But it's on every business trip with the owner of the organization. Is he not a criminal too? Because on one hand, they will come and complain they know they pay them well. But the business is running smoothly. So which magic, which juju now they use? I want that kind of juju too. So let's focus on those elites. When we use the word elite, not just politicians. Because the politician, Bola Tinubu just become president, which is they go just know everywhere to take money finish. No, I don't give a fuck if you've been a president going up for 100 years. You cannot figure out how the system works just like that. People have to be there to do it for you. You will see a director of a parastatal working there for the past 15 years as a director, right? Then one minister will just go on 4 years and he's still there. They say it's still 2 billion. How? And if that is the fact that the minister chopped 2 billion, how much do you think the accountant or the director of that ministry chop? Ekiti and Ondo do not contribute to Nigeria economy, but they have bite more than they can chew by recruiting more people into civil service. They have all limestones. That's see, now that's part of the problem. Then you will not ask yourself, you will be just an ordinary man when they kill your scar. Figure this out. What are the elites doing of a do Ekiti? Let's put the politician. I'm talking about people who actually know, who are part and parcel of the community. What are they doing? They are not looking away. They are also a conspirator. They are part and parcel of the whole scheme. Now then they make the politician they flourish. So for the fact that how do we make because any small thing so federal government not allow federal government? Okay, fine. The constitution clearly says that every state, federal government, and local government should have their autonomy. Why is the elite not pushing for that? So that is the only way you can explore the limestone without giving excuse that oh, federal government is hindering you. You made a very profound point here. They are not contributing. These two are not contributing anything to the economy, but they are fighting more than they can achieve by recruiting every top they can earn in the name of civil service. So we should, because when our colonizers they go, they put infrastructures down to control the way we think and reason, which is the churches and the school and all that. But God, then that's 60 years ago. How come the whatever structure they put together is more effective now than before? It is because of the media. Unless we tell you that Meduguri na be the problem of Nigeria, Zamfara be the problem of Nigeria, they will not tell you Ekiti is not contributing anything to Nigeria. Ondo is not contributing anything to Nigeria. But these are the same elite that will say presidency. They don't give on a presidency now. What are we going to get? What the people? Because when are they talk that time say that these are which name I was calling them? Clown. I was calling them the 17 government. I was calling them clown. People say I was sold out. Fine, you guys succeeded when I won. Una don't get the presidency. Wetin dem dey show now how to do buga. Vice president will contest it. They say Bola Tinubu send us, no we go send Nigeria. So now buga una go sell. They tell say King Daniel never sell buga. If na buga una wan go sell for that boss, King Daniel should be the leader of the crew. They dance. Go Port Harcourt from Fayoshe to Oshiomhole. Every Tom Dick and Harry from the south. Now dance they dance for rivers. That is the latest thing. These are the people where they cry. That instigating the southern people. That not maybe our problem. That they want to hold on to power. We must do everything to make sure they don't hold on to power. We begin to sort ourselves. They have the power now. The power has come to the south. Now dance and they dance. All of a sudden, there's no need of restructuring again. All of a sudden, no, we don't need resource control again because now you have direct control of that resources. So they don't throw party everywhere. So now let me the rant. I need to focus on this our so-called elite. We could need politicians, but everybody together. So make I bring you on. I should have fine. Hey, you know, the thing just dey me when I look at waiting all these men they do. I stop watching news. I stop watching Nigerian news. I don't stop to watch American news for a decade, for almost 5 years. Now. I don't they watch Nigerian news again. Because it's insulting. It insults us to our face. It's just now I begin to understand why it did very hard for Nnamdi Kanu to actually speak and address these people as a normal human being. Because how do you address at a time when they tell us the poor people say no we reduce our lifestyle. Lifestyle we don't get before. They say no we reduce them. But these motherfuckers are throwing party everywhere. And then they dance. And nobody saying anything. 2 years from now, they go begin to tell you say that Buhari na spend 99 Nigeria bad. They go begin tell you say Obi Native. What was always they will begin tell you rubbish from channels to arise to bomber you because you have to vote for their paymaster. And what is the investment that up to today we see they insult ourselves? Why those motherfuckers are dancing across the world? We go gather they insult ourselves. I think now we have a problem. All the individuals and leader help these motherfuckers rig election. We will forget them. All the INEC commissioners, them. Those are the people. And I'm just curious. Can anybody tell me the last time government of at any level in Nigeria build one school? Excuse me. Please, government at any level, local government, state to federal, build any school that I know of. I can't remember. Say they built let me say they renovate school that is already in existence. So because one thing we not pay attention to, we know that because we are not curious anymore, is that our population they grow every day, but our schools are not grown. Yes, you can say the private people are building, but how many people can afford those private schools? So when was the last time federal government, state government, local government built secondary school or built primary school? Just like the likes of Jack Conde did it, they did with the federal government school and just the way they did it in the past, just like maybe 30, 40 years ago. When was the last time? Because I was listening to Lucky Dube say how much would I pay for my freedom? Tell them say my they ain't building no school no more, but it be more prison. And that's the next discussion these people will start. Because they don't dey talk and small. Ushumole come out they blow muscle from ear to ear. They harass women say they know they feed the prisoner. Well, I did play and tell to them, but I think the conversation around feeding the prisoners, how much they are spending and all that. The next phase of the conversation is that, oh, no, they don't even pass that conversation. They say the prisoners are too congested. The next thing is to build more. The next thing is to, and the building more is not going to be built by government, it's going to be built by private people. They will privatize our prison. And guess what? American life we won't live. We are getting there. That's so they want to bring a school loan, Abi. And at the first phase. Another government will come, we go use that campaign. How to discongest our prison. We have to build more prisons. We have to build more prisons with good facilities. Companies will build a prison with good facilities so that the prisoners will now be well engaged. They won't use them for free labor. Now, I did narrow down to our southern elite because a lot of people actually die screaming presidency had to come to the south. Under Buhari, hell when lose every given opportunity to our southern leader, from by Edwin Clark to Wike, resource control, resource control, restructuring. Presidency must come to the south. They don't give una, una don't get her now. And dance everywhere na dance. And another thing again, people are actually celebrating and jubilating so that they use Beta Edu as a scapegoat. Now, I'm not condoning, I'm not saying, oh, what she did, whatever they're accusing her for is a good thing. But for God's sake, between that day where they accuse her and today, how many billion has been stolen from every fucking ministry by this same old man? They are using the young girl as a scapegoat. They are using the young girl as a scapegoat. Danguje, the chairman of APC, before the whole world eye, was seen collecting bribe. Today, they find a way to make him the chairman. Nobody in this administration, old people, that's not been accused, but they give them, absorb them, find one way to absorb them. A young girl, yes, she's overzealous, she's doing too much. I don't agree with her, don't agree how she do her things. Whatever you want to accuse her of, you are right. But for God's sake, for the past almost 2 months, since the beginning of the year, before Christmas, now if to say when they drag people who misbehave for public office like this since 1999 to date, I think we would have received a level of sanity. But people are not paying attention. Just say, oh, she be tip. Just because I don't like her too. But this young woman, she's a young girl who has been in the scheme of things through thick and thin. Position that she's occupying today, she earned it. I don't want to know the power behind her, that they are foreign or they are local. That's not the point. Just ask your question. How what crime did she commit that has never been committed before, or that is not being committed as we speak right now, that deserve her being dragged for almost 2 months? Even that in Nigeria, the way our elites say they play game, then you should, if you understand that way, you should begin to ask questions. That's not normal. I'm not supporting what she did, but for the fact that between that time and today, the same thing is still being done, the same crime is still being perpetrated by these people. If to say this that girl na old babe, say na man, old man, they there, Tinubu mates, they go run her like that. Benefit, a young girl. I want you to use that as an example. Say, may everybody tighten up as if they are fighting corruption. Well, fucking corruption are they fighting? If to say that they fight corruption, every name that she has mentioned, Shoba should have been out of office by now. May all of them, step aside while investigation is going on. If truly you're actually doing something, no, a small girl. So there's more to what is going on. Now, just tell me, what will every young person in this administration be thinking, or those who say, "Oh man, this girl, man, she did it. I can do it." Like I said, you can say, "Oh, well, I'm supporting what she did." No, I'm not saying what she did is. I'm saying that who is a sense in this administration? This old man has been stealing that country dry for even before she was born. Most of these people that she's working with have been stealing the country dry even before she was born, and it's still going on. So how come every media is loud down? Abati, you see muzzle for Abati face when they talk about this thing. I said, like, what? You are not a saint. Oh, they are everybody kind of every morning they must talk about Betty Edu. Why? How? So that's how you should. Another side for you to understand who are actually keeping us docile are these media houses. And again, I said, forget those people where they run their mouth for studio. Go beyond the studio and look at where the money is coming from. These same people go tell us the media no money, no day media. There's no money in the media. But these motherfuckers wear brand new suit every fucking day. So where is the money coming from? If there's no money in the media, if you guys don't have a budget, if the advertisers are not paying. So that means subsidy is coming from somewhere. And I'm saying subsidy is trickling down from the owner of the organization because he is always in bed. Is one of the financiers of this government. Then use that media house to time the youth to keep on number one place. Huh? National mind too is one of them. Well, national mind is one of them. As I talk before, if you're a millionaire in Nigeria, you are part of the problem.
How they be
National mind.
how they be part of it?
Okay, well, your money, why you use your money? What are you support? Which who you support? Which organize? What are you support? Are you investing your money for on the people, or you are using the support Tinubu campaign?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Amsterdam. Although Amsterdam, you take today. I mean, Texas.
No, I'm not. No, seriously, because we don't actually talk about the middle guy, so-called middle class, so-called professionals. We don't talk about them because now them be the real evil, the machine, that engine room of power. Now them they keep on they will move, function very well.
How do you expect us to talk about them when in the first instance, what is holding us back itself? Oh God. Let me down. Let's go. So anyway, so how do we talk about them when the very thing that will make us to talk about people of that here in America we talk about people that makes things work. We talk about people in the Wall Street. I mean, anytime you hear of Biden, the only time you hear of Biden language, I mean name, or maybe your state governor, is usually maybe there's something that has to do with the states. But then you talk about the mayor, the senators, the House of Rep. Those are the people they talk about. They talk about people that are who are in the.
So you are saying now that the media that I'm accusing, now them is also indicting, right? Because now them know they give us the opportunity.
No. Because I'm still trying to develop my thought around what you just asked.
Okay.
You see, how we cannot talk about people. Talk about people with ideas, people that create wealth, people that we should be talking about people like Elumelu, Dangote, those people who are innovative, who are creating things, who are bringing in new method of making money. Those are the people, but we cannot talk about those people. When in the first instance, that thing that will make us talk about them is not even there. Now, what are we talking about here is that, what am I talking about is, I don't know if you listen to, what's it called? Abakoba, one of his interviews that he did.
No,
Was
it's
saying
also
that
part of the
he
it's
said we
part of
can
the problem too.
hold on,
I
hold
know
on.
listen
No, hold on. You can
Yeah,
continue
yeah.
accusing everybody, even accuse me too. But the point is that there's no way we can accuse Tinubu here of anything. Tinubu is just part of the rot, but it's not the main thing that is really the problem. The main thing that is the problem of that Nigeria is that constitution. That constitution, if it the way it is, bring the most brilliant person to come and work Nigeria on based on that constitution, it will not make any headway.
Now, okay, let's two things before you continue, right? When are they accuse people? When I'm accusing them, when I mention those names, I am using them like to use the religious phrase as a point of contact to those. Just like if you, I don't know if when you started listening to me, I was talking about the religious leaders. That yes, we might not agree with what they are building, but guess what? That is what they believe in. That part of the elite are futurists. They are actually doing something, right? So when I say Abakuba is part of the people, I'm not saying him as a person. The legal system, how hard are they fighting to actually either bring this thing that you are talking about, conscience, to the public consciousness, or even fight? That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying him as a person. I'm talking about the elite of that legal system. What are they doing to actually come to our aid, to educate us on what to do, or what are they doing from their own? Because now me and you, they America, right? You said something very good. And nobody talking about Biden. We talk about professional from every industry, what they are doing, right? So our religious leaders are building magnificent structures. We don't have to like them. We don't have to agree with it, but that is what they are believing. So what our lawyer building? Can you actually today stand the rational man and say, I want to send my son to go study law in UNILAB because the legal system in Nigeria have put in their expertise and resources in the law program in UNILAB, so that it's one of the best in the country, just like the way it is in Harvard, the way it is in there. Because now individual, now sectors, they actually finance all those things. Now I'm talking of government again. Now the constitution, now politicians they guide them. Who are the financier of these politicians? You go say, oh, that they take money, but how, which mechanism, which system are they using to steal this money? Now, these professionals, they help them now, the lawyers, the tech, everyone. Like, so I'm just pointing out the elites, the top of the top, because as I drive around America, you will see some kind of structure, some kind of things, right? Frisco, where I am now, is one of the fastest growing county in America. The success story of that Frisco has nothing to do with the state governor. It has everything to do with the professionals in that Frisco who want so infrastructure to be there. So they go out there and attract investors. Right now, you can say constitution hinder Nigeria on. I agree with you, but how can we change that constitution if people who know better are just saying with the leaders? You understand? Because you talk of Lumelu through party, me and you know they there now. We call it, we understand. So these people are dancing around, but my main focus today is when northern person they power, with the southern people they share the structure and resource control. Tinubu is in power now. Now dance with the dance everywhere. When I mean we, I mean the elite again. Because I don't know if they pay attention, you see the Odile was hosting all of them from Oshomole to the rest of them. They were all dancing, showing their dancing skill. Your vice president was in Davos displaying their dancing skills. I don't understand what's wrong with us.
Obi, I agree with you on many things, but we cannot be talking about certain things if what what really creates that how do I maybe should I use the word ambience, the kind of atmosphere for that to
It's
thrive.
our elite.
Hold on.
Not them now, Abi.
Everything is I don't everything is intertwined. I mean, that's how they say.
Not them. Because
So
another thing again,
look at
all of them.
let
Okay,
me
sorry, finish.
let me
Finish,
land.
yes.
Everything all joined. All of them
Yeah.
they have connection. But you see the very core, at the very core of it. Some people might say, you see that constitution, that fraudulent 99 constitution is not a problem. You see, Okay, now you were talking about, I don't know, maybe it was you, how you a while ago, you were saying, why is it that everything we have to talk about is us Tinubu? Look at the bulk of the news on in our news that comes in the news is about Tinubu. Why must it be?
Eh,
We're not talking about, no, why we're not talking about the other governors? We're not talking about our councillors, our chairmen in our areas. No, it's because we practice
again,
a system, hold on, we practice a system that the constitution has empowered the whole thing in the hands of the president. So everybody look up to the president. Now look at it. We're talking about the Ministry of Humanitarian. You and I were here in America. Virtually every county they have what they call Department of Human Services. This Department of Human Services is where people go for whatever social thing that they have to do, that they have to get benefit, they have to get from the government. Is this SSI? Is it say you want to get unemployment benefit? Is it you want to get food stamp? You go there and get this thing. They give you card. They get your name in the system. They collect your social security. Hold on. They collect your social security number. But you don't have to go to DC for that. You don't have to go to like the capital city of your state for that.
yes,
In your county, you have these
they are practicing.
departments.
Yes.
So my point
Well,
is,
let's see.
what should we be
That's
talking
what
about?
I'm the Constitution. The Constitution.
Hmm.
Our Constitution is not the Bible. It's not the Quran. What do I mean by that? It's a working Constitution. All these loophole that you are pointing out can be either ratified or the Constitution can be changed entirely. So I'm where I want us to focus on the steps. Who are the people directly responsible to actually educate the people or spur the people to make sure that loopholes that you just put in the Constitution is taken care of? Not today, not tomorrow, but something has to be done before, because
The problem is hold on. There is no elite consensus here. I just give an
so
example.
now you see why I'm accusing them. Good. Go ahead. I like that.
There is no elite consensus. There's no consensus among these elites. I just give you an
Yes.
example now. Among these elites, this same one that is there now, that is in Aso Rock now, that is saying he's the president. Did he once not talk about a confab? Did he not once talk about a national sovereign conference when he was in opposition, when he was the governor in Lagos? He said that. So, but now he got there, and like you said, when it's our own certain people time, we don't go talk about this anymore. But make it not get there now. We'll start to talk about
Jump up and down.
I get you. But the problem is that we do not have a consensus among the elites, and even we who are the bottom of the food chain, or how do I put it, bottom of the hierarchy, talking about the common man on the street, the masses. Even among the masses, there's no consensus among them as to how to deal with the problem. And that is
I like that.
That's the main reason why we cannot move forward as to what is the solution to this problem. One people say this, another people say this, then you start about another thing.
How do you? I like that word you use, consensus. How do you think? What do you think is the best way? I mean, there are various ways to go about these things to start building consensus. To start building that, because that's why I'm accusing the elite, and you clearly say that there's no consensus among them, and that is because it is more beneficial for them to play individually or to just look the other way around, but their resources is going towards whoever that is coming in or whoever that is there. So, but we the masses, is it okay? Maybe I should do this. Is it easier for us to build consensus among the masses, or we should still be open? Because that's what we've been doing, hoping on the elite that one day they'll wake up and say, "Come, I think we can have a better life than this." So, where do you think we should focus on where to build consensus?
Ovie.
Or how easy for us to build consensus within ourselves?
Ovie. There's no magic wand. There's no one magic wand when it comes to this Nigerian matter. You see, I've understood that Nigerian matter, and my conclusion is it's hopeless. Can I be proved wrong? It's possible I might be wrong in my assumption, because the reason why I said that is that I just gave you, I said there's no consensus, not just even among the elites, even the common masses on the streets. These people are against your interests. You will see some people, they will see carry placard. Yeah, it's our man. We want him like that. Let him be like that. I mean, this is the thing that all of us, we can see. Okay, for example, now let me give an example now. Tinubu is not doing very well. We all know that. But among we won't say no be part of government. We say we just be common man on the street. You go see some of us will carry placard. They say, yeah, Tinubu, and these people, no, say Tinubu, they give them money. Even though if Tinubu give them money, maybe money for just to live for 5 days, 2 days, 3 days, or maybe for even 1 month. What happened to the rest month or the remaining days or the remaining weeks to come? They just make
don't you think
open mouth for breeze to enter in. So the problem is they too are suffering, but they don't want to.
Why do you think we are like that? Why do you think we are like that? Like an ordinary person that doesn't even know things that are taking about, but we say, "Oh, is my man as support?" Why do you think we are like that as Nigerians?
You see, that was why I said it's a systemic thing. The psyche of the Nigerian people, even so-called people that are even more. You're surprised that even when you hear some submission from some people whom you think that, doctors, lawyers, people who are well-read, you think that at least we should be able to diagnose this problem, that this is the guy where the whole problem is hanging on. He's the main problem. But no, some of them will spin it around, tell you that no, it's not the main problem. He met it there. So we should let him be, they will just give you all kinds of reasoning to make you believe that he's not the problem. Make you look like maybe you're just imagining that is the problem. So you see, as long as we are in this, we will never move forward. I mean, as Buhari is today now, that even even his party are saying that it was a failure. There are people who are still praising this guy to high heavens, saying that he did well. So the point is this: you see, as long as we continue like this, I don't see us being able to resolve this problem in Nigeria. The only thing is that I just believe say Nigeria will reach at a breaking point to get to a point whereby it will self-correct itself in some ways. What I mean is that the way it is going now, the hardship is the way the hardship will go, whereby virtually maybe at some point.
But rational mind, is this hardship? So is there really hardship? Yes, hardship, but what is the? Because I don't know. It's sad, right? That what you are, this hardship that you're talking about is visible. It's there. You can feel it. You can actually touch it. And people who are responsible for this hardship are just there, right there. They are not. It's not something spiritual or is that the engineer from outside. They are right there, like right there. We talk with them. I don't understand. It's like it's the time they believe they say juju or this spiritual that goes okay, yes, that juju and that they do us because our problem. We know our problem. We know why. Like I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. It's like and they give you food. You say, you don't like it.
I agree with you. That's why I said Nigerian problem is a very peculiar problem. It's a different beast of its own. The kind I've never really, even though I was born and raised there, I know that country like the back of my hand. But what I'm trying to say is that you see, I don't know where to start with Nigerian problem. But I just believe maybe if we can.
That's why I say okay. There are people who are in charge in every society. There are people who are in charge, maybe virtue of their knowledge, their wisdom, their resources, their power, who are responsible to actually move that community forward. And in this case, our elite totally don't. I don't just understand. Indian, as of today, the news that broke out of India that every year for the next 10 years they're going to build power plant, nuclear power plant. Every year for the next.
We are here talking about fuel subsidy remover.
Exactly. So waiting our elite, they are thinking of how they will go build go rent penthouse for Dubai.
They are projecting they are making plans for their next. Do you know that India, their population is just skyrocketing, and they are making plans for this incoming generation incoming population that will be coming in. They are making plans for them. Even though you can
see our election. Kamala Harris na India, Vivek na India, Nikki Haley na India. Yes, they no go succeed, but that's to tell you people who are thinking forward.
Exactly. But yeah, we are always here talking about Tinubu, talking about the crap that is going on, talking about the money that is stolen in Aso Rock, talking about the catch of the guys, be Igbo guy,
Elon Musk is a singularity using money. They push some kind of narrative. Like him or you don't like him, that's what elites do. that's why they accuse all these people. What is your money doing? Your money is to come build come rent flat for for Manhattan, for Dubai, make you the sneaky sneaker like a slave. I don't just understand. Why can't you build that same skyscraper for Abuja or for Ondo or for Ekiti? May you they fly, they do anyhow. Because these white people here, they do anyhow because they were
My brother,
able to think like that.
if you ask me,
You
now who
see,
I go ask? Now who I go ask? If you ask me, now who I go ask?
you see,
You see,
oh my God.
I understand where you're coming and how you feel about this matter. But then my point.
But just look up now, just look up. You understand the past. Look at our past leaders who are not this educator exposed. They were able to build a conducive society across Ibadan, Benin, Maiduguri.
Exactly.
Before this bloggers, when we feed them with Ivy League education, the best of schools, the best of anything, they didn't work for anything. They just give them Nigeria, the planter of gold, or they just misbehave.
You see,
All of them they misbehave.
let me say this. When we started getting it wrong, you see, it said, well, our Yoruba people say, Odo tó bá gbàgbé orísun ẹ̀, gbígbẹ ló máa gbẹ, which means a river or a stream that forgets its source. Its source means its origin. If you just ignore that origin, like, that origin no matter, let me just continue flowing. If you forget it,
I think that's it.
At the end of the day,
That's
you
the point.
just dry up. So the
That's
decline, you see, you just said something now. Those years when Nigeria was at its peak, those golden years of Nigeria, probably we say golden years of Nigeria, not really in the sense the real golden, but compared to what we crap we're saying in that country now, it's the 50s to early 60s, say like 62. Or maybe, well, if you want to classify, I won't classify Gowon's time as part of it because I think Gowon and Aguiyi Ironsi started from those time. That was where we went. So what am I trying to say?
From Gowon, nowadays from Gowon to today, that the same.
So let me make the point. So the source here I'm talking about here, the source, the very source that we ignore was what was the basis by which Nigeria was negotiated by the founding fathers.
That's the point. That's a good one.
Because those years were those years where we find every region, because they started by region, because they understood the complexity of that country, that Nigeria is made up of some ethnic groups. Like even among the Yorubas, I will tell you that the Yorubas are not homogeneous. Is that the word? I think they're not the same. You'll find even in those states, even that state they call Ondo State alone, there are several dialects or version of Yoruba among them. If you go to Lagos State too, they have about 2 or 3 dialects.
Like that.
You go to Ogun State. Forget that we have this common Yoruba we're talking about. But what I'm saying
sorry. This I know what was the national conversation like when the likes of Awolowo, Zik, Aminu Kano, when they were, going at each other in terms of idea, political, contestation and all that. What was the national conversation? Because today, I don't know do we have a national conversation other than say these people they receive money and they continue. So what was, because you say something that I quite agree with. I'm finding a way to actually study that era. What? Because I think that's where we get it wrong. People who negotiated, right? Who I would say these are the Awolowo. What were they negotiating? And
let me flesh that out.
How did they lost out? How did they call it? Because it's strange that all of them just lost out. The three of them.
No. You see,
at the same time.
You see, let me. You see. There's a very deep conversation to be had around that 50s, 60s, early 60s until when it collapsed when the military came in and intervened. There are a lot of lessons to be learned from there. But you see, our people are this kind of people. We don't learn to correct. That's how we are in Nigeria. We don't learn lessons to correct. We learn lessons to just to walk over it and just ignore it like nothing ever happened and act like. You say what?
Don't you think it's deliberate for them not to teach us so that we know?
Let me. You see, like I said, it's a very deep conversation. Only if you don't interrupt me much, I will be able to speak on that. I just allow me. I know you have some ideas too. But my point is this: is
No,
that
no, just now. I'm
the
just curious.
source.
A question I get. I just have a question around there. I don't know
Okay.
much around there. Yeah.
So the source here is that what was the basis by which Nigeria was negotiated by the founding fathers? They understand the complexity of Nigeria, that Nigeria is multi-tribe. Let me not use the word ethnic. I don't know, maybe the word ethnic will be, because let's just say multi-ethnic, multi-language, dialect. So, but they have to like break it down into three. Okay, what is the predominant language spoken among certain people? Yoruba in Southwest. Okay, Yoruba here. Now, in that area called Southeast, South, what is the predominant language? There's a tribe that is more predominant among them, which is the Igbos. We know that the other tribe like the Efik, Ibibio, Anan, and all of them, and the Jos, and then some other minor tribes. Let me not call them minor, but other tribes. So the look, okay, Igbos are more larger. Okay, we make it Southeast. Now let us not take it like that. That was the basis by which they negotiated Nigeria. Do I believe that that negotiation was the perfect was perfect for that system, the way they negotiated it? Maybe not. But one thing I admit, and I know that they got right, was that they recognized that Nigeria is not homogeneous. So for that reason, let us go regional. Let each region develop its own place. Because if we have to say, okay, we want to mix everybody together, we would butt head at some point. Because if me as a Yoruba man goes to the north, I want to start some kind of business that they find as threatening to their own culture and whatever civilization over there, they will stop me. And if I cannot do that, what makes me a citizen? What gives me the right of being a citizen? So let everybody stay in their own space. If you want to call my space, as long as you're ready to abide by our rules and regulations, you can stay there. If you're not, stay in your own area. But together, we'll have one single armed forces, one single military force that will fight against external
national mind.
You say what?
How? I think that is the spirit of the founding father, those that negotiate. So, at what point, which group of people came with a different narrative? You understand? Because as I said, how come all these men lost out at the same time?
Now, when they lost focus, this is where they lost focus. As far as my history, I could recollect my history. Where they lost focus was at some point when it comes to who will lead the government of that country. I mean, I know Awolowo was happy being the premier of a Western region. He was happy, and I'm sure Zeke too. Was it the other person? Mbanefo, is it Mbanefo? What was that man? Was okay being premier of Eastern region, and I'm sure Sardauna too was okay being a premier of Northern region. But as time goes on, when these men felt that they are too small, I mean their local space is too small for them, let them now go national by being the prime minister or the president or the leader of that three union of these three spaces. That was when they started butting head. That was where they lost focus. And because that was the area they did not negotiate very well. If they had negotiated very well, that regardless of your size of your area, the number of people you have in your area will be rotating these. Will be rotating.
Negotiation. The negotiation is supposed to be between who? Between themselves or between the external force? When you say they did not negotiate.
This is what I'm saying. If they had negotiated that, okay, you in the north will give you 8 years. Make your own decision among yourself. Who's going to be the leader of the prime? Who's going to be the prime minister? We are okay with that, but for 8 years you have it, and then it comes to the southwest. You too. If it's Awolowo, if it's Samuel Akintoye or whoever, you people may negotiate among yourself. You can have it. Now in the east too, whoever, if it's Zikiwe or whatever. So if that's how they negotiated it, that would have been better. But they said no. What they did was that we'll throw it open. But not forgetting to realize that there are some parts that has more, they claim to have more population than the other. And so if you don't align with them, if you don't make that alignment and realignment.
Hold on. When you say they throw it open, what throw it open as in how? Because at this point they are still in the regional government, right?
It was the regional government at that time. Yeah.
So when you say
throw it open, you said what?
Okay.
You have a parliament. And each of these region, they are controlled by their own ethnic parties. Like
Yeah,
we
I
have
mean, no. When you say
we have the
throw
action.
it open, when you say throw it open, what do they mean by that? What are they?
What I mean is that they did not negotiate that. You're not always be producing the prime minister, or you not always be contesting prime ministership. You not always be contesting it. You only have it for 8 years, one single 8 years, and then it moves to the other region. They too will negotiate among themselves. If it's an Igbo man, if it's an Ibibio man, they want to emerge as the prime minister from there to.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying.
I think again, what I want to get clear again.
Okay.
At what point the regional parliamentary system fell off, and then the presidential system.
This is how it fell off. So after the election of 1960, there has always been tension among them. After the election of 1960 or 1958, 59. Was it 59? Yeah, I think the election of 1959. Now, what happened was that.
Wait, you said 59? That was before independence.
Well, they've had, okay, sorry. It should be 1960, 1961 or 1962. That led to the this wet year thing that happened in Western region. That was where the history is a little bit convoluted, but let me just explain it the way I could remember. I learned from the history book back then. Because I was still very young that time when I had the story and all of that. I won't be. So my point is now this is how it happened. When after their election, Zik party won in the east. The Northern People's Congress (NPC) won in the north. They had it because, mind you, in the north there they have other smaller parties too. But most of these parties, they are also like their own ethnic kind of parties, like Middle Belt and all those kind of places like Plateau and also Benue. They have their own little party. But the Northerners, the core Northerners, which are those KKK states today, a lot of them they have the majority, because they have the majority landmass, and they create what they call them consistency among themselves. That's why they have a majority in the parliament, and so they dominate. So when they dominate like that, so they will swallow other parties. They will form an alliance with them. So they will now become one block. So they will now negotiate that, okay, we have the largest people in parliament now. Now, can we produce a prime minister? That basis was wrong, because if you continue doing that, then one set of people will be producing the prime minister, except by some kind of alignment, which Azikiwe did. When the last election they did before that disbandment of that republic that time, where they did that coup. Let me not go. So my point is this: is that the last election that led to the whole thing that made the military intervene into the matter was that after that election, Azikiwe had to go. Awolowo knew that he doesn't have the majority. Yeah. So he wants to form alliance with Azikiwe. If both of them can form that alliance, they will defeat the NPC. NPC does not have, they have the majority, but if Azikiwe and what's his name, Awolowo can come together, and with little other smaller parties that have also agreed to join that force, they will overshadow what's it called, the NPC. But rather than, because of the animosity that has existed between Azikiwe and Awolowo, because they feel that Yoruba people are this, Igbo people are that, and then Azikiwe had to go behind Awolowo. That's why they tell Awolowo to come and meet him in Asaba, so that they could do the Asaba agreement. He went. They said the guys was that so as to prevent Awolowo from going to meet the Northern NPC and making that alliance with them. He now double-crossed him and he went, telling him to come and meet in Asaba. And then he went and made a deal with the Northern NPC. Now NPC, when they now negotiated with Awolowo, they now negotiated with Azikiwe, they said, we will make the prime minister, but we'll give you some kind of ceremonial kind of role, like president general of the whatever, which does not really means anything. The prime minister is the main person that controls the parliament. So I don't know, people today, they say they don't even know why Azikiwe had to fall for that trick or that crap. But kind of, it just makes Azikiwe ceremonial. It's not really of any constitutional power like that. So that was, as people say, he just did that just to spite Awolowo will not become anything. But Awolowo said, according to what they said, Awolowo said to him that, Azikiwe, look, I'm not vying for the prime minister. I know that if you and I, if we merge, your party has more than my party. I agree with you. But can I get the position of the finance minister, something like, I think minister of finance in the cabinet? You become the prime minister. But I think, I don't know, whatever. Let me not go, because that's how the history goes. But the point is this, that when he double crossed him, they now had the majority. They now formed that alliance. So Awolowo's group now became third class in the parliament. Now, because it did not end there. Now, the problem now, what happened was that they were trying to clip Awolowo's wing. They now used Samuel Akintoye against him. Because as soon as Awolowo went national, Samuel Akintoye became the premier of the Western region. Now, the MPC now were now using him against Awolowo, and then they were now butting head. So within the Western region now, there was now every fight among the Akintoye bloc and Awolowo bloc. They were fighting each other. That was when now the Prime Minister Abubakar Tafawa Balewa had to move in federal police, and they now had to arrest. I mean, they kind of frame Awolowo up, say that he was the one responsible for everything. They had to arrest him and lock him up. And when they lock him up, people say, so this is what you people are playing. You are planning. You want to clip Awolowo. You don't want him to. That was where the whole thing escalated. And I brought this whole coup and fighting and everything. So, you see, they did not properly negotiate Nigeria very well. And if they have allowed them to learn their lessons, and maybe learn their lessons, maybe there have been some kind of correction as time goes on. But they just, when the military now moved in, they totally scrap it. Because they felt that it's too ethnic. No, regional system is not ethnic. There's a way you can design a regional system, it will work. That is why I said you have to put some kind of clause whereby one area cannot dominate or the other area. You can only rule for a certain amount of years. Like they do in Switzerland. They have the German part, they have the French part, they have the Italian part, they have the German, Italian, and I think they have the Finnish. So, but I think I had about 8. So
is that what is now responsible? That's why they decided to go for pressure system.
No, when you see the history is a very long one. So when the military came in, because even at that time too, there was another ethnic fight between, I think, the Igbos and the Northerners, and that too now brought this Ezegu matter came into it. That why should the Igbos be killed? And they said why should they? God, that's why there was a grand conspiracy by the Northerners to dominate the whole thing, and I think we allow instead to be used by them. So that was when they now came in. And they just, flush out all the old. They got rid of Tafawa Balewa, and Sardauna too was killed. And you believe that the Northerners were just scheming, because all this Fulani thing of Usman Badam Fodio plan to. You see, it's a very convoluted history. But my point is this, Ovie.
Now that we have useless people that they handed over to, well, they've not really handed over, for as far as I'm concerned, because now I see the class of the same people who fight civil war. Now then see they control things.
Yeah.
But there's no hope, which I also agree with you. With those people, the next set of leaders who are coming in, because they are already.
It's a cycle. It's a vicious cycle that will continue. That will never break. If you will break it now, how do we break it? Call all the ethnic groups. Like I don't know. Have you watched that Abakoba's interview? Those interviews that he granted. I'm not saying, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to promote Abakoba here. The reason why I'm only saying, I'm only alluding to Abakoba is because me and him will see eye on eye on the way forward if we want to remain as one country. Like he said, the first question we should be asking ourselves is, do we want to be together? That's the first question. No, he's using a kind of like, I don't know what they call it in academics. It's the way we call it. You use question to answer question and to find solution. Now, the question we should be asking is that, first of all, given the nature of Nigeria right now, we can see that everything is, the whole economic, socio-economic issue in that country, everything revolves around everybody fighting for their own space.
My question, my problem with Akagboga, because they always group out with his mates. These people now, them they run the country for at least for the past 30 solid years. He's involved in the scheme of things. Is him and his friends. Why they no fight, kill themselves, so we can achieve this? But they are just getting along because they get small money. Because all the money they're making, you see from these people. I've been at Ghanaians, they can't give her a job. I've been American, I can't give her a job. So now when we say he don't old, he does his same man, he don't fuck up by remaining quiet and getting along.
Well, you see, Ovie, I agree with you. Even the Obasanjo too, if you look at the way the man is talking, you go see it's like they are now having regret that is this how they're going to leave this country. In fact, okay, you are right in what you just said, because even Abakoba admitted to it. He said he was 21, so I say he was like 21 years when Nigeria got independence. Good. Said, and for 60 years, Nigeria has been going like, is it how he's going to leave this country? That was why I said he now has resolved to make sure that was why I said he had that conversation with Tinubu when he had the opportunity to speak to him in a conference. He said he addressed him. And did you watch that address?
I'm not gonna lie for you.
No, you see, what I'm saying is this. You see, one thing I believe is
this. Listen to them again.
Okay, fine, I agree with you. You see, the other alternative, which I don't think is going to be a resolution, because it's going to bring about anarchy and chaos at some point if we go revolution style. In that revolution style, a lot of people can be killed, both the supporters who are just ordinary people, both the elite. They all don't want that.
You know what?
And we don't even know what might follow after that too, because even when you get rid of all these people, the people that are coming after them, how do we know if they're not going to even be worse than the people that they replaced? So that's why we need to do it. We need to negotiate dialogue about it.
I think the way we will treat them, the way we edge them out, we determine we should do it in a way that will send a message down the memory. But you know why I'm so hungry? Because we have a country that we have everything. Yes, we cannot stop every other intruder. I'm talking about that, the colonizer. We cannot stop them. But guess what? We can negotiate. That's what every other country does. Because people must survive. Or Igbo will survive. Anybody will do it, telling them to survive. But for the fact that we are not sending our elite out to go conquer Ghana because they to collect their resources. So that's not the case. So we are not saying we need to go invade Côte d'Ivoire. That's not our case. So we have everything. All we need to do is to have a better negotiation with the invaders. I call them invaders. They are not invaders because they are coming for survivors. Because at this point, before they come with force, but today they are coming with something, right? Oh, we'll help you explore your oil. We don't have a need to say, come, okay, you want to explore our oil, fine, but now 90% to 10%, if you no agree, they go. You negotiate, right? Till you get something good for every, because the point, I'm using Saudi Arabia as an example, another thing. Saudi Arabia are negotiating for nuclear.
We are doing the same. You see, we're doing mistake. You see, that's the point. We don't understand the very nature of Nigeria. You cannot compare Saudi Arabia with Nigeria.
No. Hold on. I am talking about those in charge, our elite. Okay. I'm not, you understand? Because now elite, they negotiate, they do everything now. Saudi Arabia knows they no get power. They're small, but they get resources. They had to negotiate, and the Americans had to, on a good day, America would have run them over, but they had to negotiate. We go use your oil and take back our dollar. In case of security, you have to be in charge about security, right? They negotiated because, one, they don't want to live their lifestyle, go to hustle for America like our elite, go stay for London, I dey for Dubai, I dey for Manhattan, I get property for Australia. They don't want to do that because the only way they can practice their way of life, even if you disagree with that way of life, the only way they can practice is their own village, for their own domain. So they say, protect us. We'll give him. Today, as we speak, a rational mind, they are negotiating for nuclear weapon. And America has agreed to build nuclear weapon for them because of what is happening when this Brexit, whatever, they know say dollar don't they shake. They have to renegotiate. As we speak, that is the convention that is going on. Saudi Arabia. So what I'm saying that our elite, either from the north or from the south or from the west, they don't negotiate to have freedom in their own house. They negotiate, say, just give me one estate for London.
But do you know why? Do you know why it's like that? Do you know why it's like that? Do you know why?
Why?
Okay, see, that's what I'm saying. You see, we need to be analytical. I mean, you see, I try to be analytical in my way of solving problems. I don't just look at the problem on just take it by face value. I go to the very core of it, the very core, the very bottom of it. What is at the root of it? Okay, let me give you an example now. I just said to you a while ago that you will see some people that will champion Tinubu's cause. Now, who are these people? A lot of them, I would say, more than 50% of them or 60% of them are Yorubas. And the many percent, you can say maybe from the north. And who are these northerners who are probably on the line of religion, because they see that it's a Muslim ticket, they'll support it. And that will give him more like, give him that kind of validation. After all, he has his own supporters too. You see, maybe I leave out that religion part of it. The reason I don't want to talk about that religion is that could be an easy fix, kind of. No, not really an easy fix, but I think it is. But the ethnic angle of it is the problem. You see, this elite you're talking about, a lot of them, they are ethnic champions of their own ethnic group. If one of their own person goes in there, they will sing his praise to high heaven. That if you from other ethnic group, you are criticizing them. You look at it like
at this point,
yeah.
I am saying I don't care who they support. What are you gaining from that support? For me, ethnicity thing, they are leaders of that ethnic group. What are you negotiating for your people? That's just
that is the problem. You see, you're not still. You need to be analytical. You need to go to the very core of the issues. Now, look. Let me give you two case study.
I am saying the core issue is that every community, every tribe, everything get leaders. What are their leaders negotiating?
So the leaders, you said they get leaders. I agree with you. They have leaders.
So even among these leaders, what are they negotiating?
Even among these leaders, is there any elite consensus among these leaders?
That's what I'm saying now. Just like your household, right? Your household.
Why not?
Now you
let me ask you a question. We're having this conversation, you and I. If this elite within each ethnic groups, they are not having a consensus, why are they not having consensus? What is at the core of it? You want to tell me? Do you know why? Do you know why?
No,
are you there? Okay?
They have a consensus. So I don't know why you
They do not.
They have a consensus to keep power the way it is. There's no more consensus that is more than that.
Hold on. It is those among those. Hold on. That's what I'm saying. You need to be very. You need to dictate.
The focus is on elites, the rational mind. The focus is on elites.
Yeah.
What are they negotiating? What are they negotiating for their people? That's it. Every country. America,
I get you. Don't go that route. Let's not go that route. You have said yourself.
That's our problem now. That's the part of the problem.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. Now that you're making it, you are focusing it on the elites. Now let's not talk about those elites. Why sometimes you use questions to find solution to the answer to the problem of that question posed. Now, why are these elites not having consensus? I give you an example. The so-called
rational man, they do have a consensus.
They do not.
Just that the consensus they have,
they do not
go with what we want.
Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of your Kwankwaso. Kwankwaso is that his own is that for the people, right? And there are some elites among the. At least let me not even use Kwankwaso because it's not a good example for me in this instance. Let me use Tinubu. Tinubu in the southwest. People like me, I don't see Tinubu as a leader. I don't see him. Because a leader, the last time we have a leader, a selfless leader, will be the time of like Awolowo, who work for the people. And we have those who are his disciples, who are disciples of Awolowo.
Yeah, rational mind. There are millions of people like you who don't like are you guys building consensus to make sure
Hold
guys
on.
have a negotiating power or kick him out?
You're not letting me land. Let me land. If I make the point, maybe you understand what I'm trying to say. There are some remnants of the Awolowo action group that are still, disciples of Awolowo that are still today. Some of them are in their almost like 100 in their 80s, 90s. Now, a lot of them, they want to see Nigeria through the Yorubas or the Yoruba part of Nigeria to work. But we have somebody now who just came out of nowhere, who never had any history until maybe in the 90s when he became a senator. And he was able to corner himself, a very powerful state within Nigeria, to himself, and he shoot himself into limelight. And he was able to like silence the other elites who are more pro-Yoruba kind of ideology. But his own kind of ideology is for his own ambition and for those minute few that will support him. And he will use that as an ethnic, saying that it's making look like it's championing the Yoruba cause. Now we are seeing, what am I talking about now? I'm talking about the Afeniferes and the Tinubus. Tinubu used to be part of those Afeniferes. He broke away because why? They do not see high on which way forward, how to bring about Yoruba interest. Tinubu feels that he has the best way to bring about the Yoruba's interest. The Afenifere group that are still sticking to the one group, they believe that they have the best way to bring about the Yoruba's interest. That is why I'm talking about there is no elite consensus. Now, because Tinubu seems to have a power that this other group does not have, because this group, they don't control any state. They just have the intelligentsias. They have, they just go by the branding of, we were formerly action group, disciple of Awolowo. That doesn't solve any problem. You need resources. You need state control. You need power. But they don't have that power besides having to just talk about ideologies and things like that. But Tinubu has that power. He has that means to control. That was why he was able to silence these people. That these people, people no longer talk about them anymore. All they talk about is Tinubu, and it's all his agenda. So that is an example of elite consensus I'm talking about. Now, Tinubu's, and I've said it on many platforms, Tinubu's interest is not Yoruba's interest. Tinubu's interest is his own interest, that he wants to become a president. And he has realized that. Because if Tinubu's interest was Yoruba's interest, when he had that power, he had that resources of Lagos State, he could have used it like Awolowo did in building the people, developing the people within the Southwest. So, but he did not do that. You see, it's a very complex. You see, I might say this thing, it might sound like
no. I agree with what you are saying. What I'm saying is that I'm saying they have a consensus. The consensus is not is just the opposite of what we expect them to do. The consensus the Nigerian elite have among themselves is that they have to continue. This power structure have to be maintained.
I agree. Do you know Balarabe Musa? Do you know Balarabe Musa? Is it Balarabe Musa? This old guy from
dead or alive.
I think he's dead now. But which one is supposed to
from Kaduna? Yes.
Balarabe. I think it's Balarabe Musa. Not this. Balarabe Musa. Do you know what his ideology was? His ideology was that to develop the people of the North, that people of the North needs to go to school. Is this kind of people that has this kind of kwankwaso, but not really kwankwaso, but his own is more than kwankwaso own. It's not that they want to use the people just to realize their own ambition. Balarabe Musa was more of people-oriented. Just like
that's exactly what I'm saying. That
who is okay now? How many people are talking about Balarabe Musa today? Nobody. They've forgotten because he was not part of those kind of elites. The general consensus. I mean, the elites that had those power that could shape and whip things to
solution here, rational mind.
Okay.
Now that we know where their consensus lies, people like you said you don't see Bola Tinubu as a leader. I'm narrowing it down now. Which there are millions of you like that. What is are you guys building a consensus to make sure to take Tinubu and make sure people like Tinubu don't come to power again? Because that's what you have to form. Now they have a team already. There's a team already which they agree on, which are these few people say this structure must continue. So as you said earlier on that even the people don't have a consensus. And that's why I said, how do we find like-minded to start joining the consensus? Because we cannot just say, oh, these people, we have to start saying, how do we chase the borders out of the town, according to Bob Marley. With that, because that's what at this point now, I did, because these guys don't have any plan. Their plan is outside Nigeria.
Okay.
All of them, all their life, they're outside Nigeria. So how do we build a village consensus to go to war with these people?
Okay. Now you see, there is no quick fix for this.
There's no quick fix. Yeah.
There's no quick fix for it. Like I said, there are two things that could happen. See, that we go the revolution style, which I'm not saying is going to be a panacea too. It's not a panacea.
Okay,
so,
let me land.
Now you need let me land. You check. Let me land. It's not a panacea. The revolution style cannot be a panacea. It could go either way, and the possibility of it going out of hand, becoming a chaotic and anarchical kind of change, the probability is very, very high, because when you get rid of certain lords, and like it's done in the past, when you replace some tyrants, you replace tyrants with another tyrants. That's what we're saying. Some kind of a revolution that has happened in the past, like I think the Russian Revolution, we know how it went, how it brought about some another kind of tyrants, tyranny in the system. So revolution for me, it's just if people are just fortunate that they were able to have a very good revolution that brings about a real revolution for the people, that works for the people, and not that another replacement of another tyranny with another tyranny. Let's forget that. Now, another way, like I said, is the dialogue. Now, the dialogue aspect of it, I see it as far-fetched. Now, why did I say that? Is that, look at me now. There's a thing in Nigeria, is if you can't beat them, you join them. Now, look at these people now. This Afenifere group of the Yoruba side. I mean, as far as I can see, they're just left in their own. They are just left in the cold. The people that are enjoying Tinubu's government, who are having mouth, are the people who supported Tinubu.
So, let me ask you this question. Tinubu served 4 years or 8 years. Let's say Tinubu served 8 years. And Oduduwa people no do pain. Okay. They should remain quiet for the kingdom come.
I agree with you. I agree with you, and I don't. Listen, hold on. I agree with you, and I don't agree with you. You know why I don't agree with you? The reason why I agree with you is because, well, we can say yes, it's an Yoruba man. He has become president. So you people kept quiet when he was doing crap like Boo Boo. You know, people too kept quiet when he was doing crap. So now, why people now talking when an Hausa man or an Igbo man now is now president? You're not saying finding fault with him. We should not keep. But one thing you should not presume is that those people who kept quiet, who are they among the Yorubas? Are they the Tinubu's part of Yorubas that are those?
No. I am talking about Oduduwa Nation.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. A lot of them, their voice is not being heard. Those people who are against, who are not pro Tinubu among the Yorubas. And another thing again is this: you need to understand is that they are also being threatened. People like me now.
That's not mine.
I'm being threatened.
We are saying the same thing.
Yeah, hold on now. They threaten me.
If your own brother they threaten you, what you say outside I go, they go use bullet finish everybody now.
All right then. So people threatening me, calling me names, saying that you're Omale, you are a sellout because of what? Because I don't support Tinubu. Oh my goodness. How low can we sink?
So
Tinubu's
Fulani is now a problem. So those people they say na Fulani.
And the same thing too. The same thing too in the east. The same thing too in the east. Look at the.
No. Of course, I know. I'm asking you this because you understand that the economy, what the Oduduwa nation want, and all that. You understand the struggle. That's why I ask you that. The same thing with the whole South, because sometimes we all come together as one presidency. So we don't get presidency now. May we go to war because. And all this thing why they ask so, it is because we are not negotiating. Now, what do I mean by
you see, when you're already
hold on.
Okay, all right, go.
Because now negotiation, not be by grand. Everybody get piece of Nigeria. You have to negotiate. You can't take it. So what I mean by negotiation? Now let's go to numbers, because now numbers game with they play. The obedience today. Give it or take it, they have 6 million. Right? Now, going forward, They either lose all that 6 million or they will use it to get something. What do I mean? Buhari has been having 10 to 12 million for almost all his life, right? At the end of the day, he was able to negotiate to be president because of that number, they bring him, they have to work for him and all that. Now, what do you think 6 million words in this correct political Nigeria we are in? 6 million. What can 6 million give? Vice presidency? What can it give? Because that's the negotiation I'm saying. That's why I say if you organize your like mind, you will have numbers. You will negotiate for something. Negotiate for councillor position. Negotiate for being a minister of something. That's how it works. The modern world that we live today. Don't be by gra again. You have to negotiate for something with what you have, right? That's why they fought our southern elites. When I get oil, what you use and negotiate. Now you are negotiate the estate for Dubai, estate for Manhattan, skyscraper for Australia. That's what they use our Commonwealth negotiate. As far as I'm concerned, they have to come and prove it wrong. Oshomolen, 8 years in Benin governor, he built empire in outside the country. So now that's why I say the elite, the way they think is over. We are not getting anywhere. But with this 6 million, what do you think he can give going forward? Or they will scatter. So that's the next aim of the administration, to scatter that 6 million.
Well, I think we'll keep dancing around so many topics and around so many ideas around this elite consensus. And I agree with you that sometimes we need to just move from topic to topic. But the way I'm wired myself, I'm wired in a way whereby I like to talk about one thing and get to the bottom of it until I move to the next one. But
let's take Oduduwa Nation. Their voice has been silent.
I will go with that flow now. But then if I digress, it's because that topic kind of relates to what I was trying to say. And you're bringing it back again, and then I'm bringing it back. So anyway, my point is this.
I think your points were very clear now, even for that elite, because now that you're able to elite consensus of a team. I think that's the word you actually now they know say no be topic what I said to talk about now I go live for now I just notice. but the elite consensus actually capture what I intend to talk about. Like what is this? Since they don't have a consensus to fix Nigeria or their immediate environment, that means they're having a consensus on something which you clearly.
I agree with you on that. That was why I said I agree with you on that. That for the fact that they don't have a consensus on fixing Nigeria, it means that they want to maintain status quo. So that's their consensus.
Because it's embarrassing that you go to talk to your fellow friends here, say we no get light 2024. Like the humanity don't see electricity for over 300 years. I go say we no get light. Like it's sickening. It doesn't even make sense anymore. You understand? 2024, you tell people say, oh, Nigeria doesn't have light. Like, how do you explain that to a Gen Z? Somebody when they born 20 years ago, 30 years ago, or 10 years ago. How?
It's ridiculous.
That's it. And then they'll come with they dance across the world. Like, how? How do you even stand?
But it's the reality. It's the reality of that country called Nigeria.
It doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense, but that's the reality.
So, the Senate president, they do birthday for the whole stadium. Like, you go put a dance with your fellow leaders on the world, and you don't get
that can only be in Nigeria.
It can only be in Nigeria.
So,
only.
So
2024, after over 200 years, when humanity doesn't see light, we don't get light. And they go say, oh, that's why when that one man come Dr. Damage's show, say, they are carrying out wonderful projects, a lot of things are going. I say, on what? You now don't get energy. So what are you building on? How on everything that you think you are building, how is it going to work when you don't have energy?
You see, it's not about
why would they deceive us? Like, we are not fools. That's why I tell I say, come. Nobody here is stupid.
Yeah, Ovie. We can lament, we can talk, we can rant if we don't talk about the solution. And I'm not saying our solution here is the solution. It's
now this man, all these old men, we have to find.
Yeah, but we're just being analytical here for our listeners and those probably among those listeners We might have some Nigerian policymakers among them who are listening to us, who might take our idea to those elites and say,
no be these leaders, oh. No be this, I'm saying you get hope for them with that. Say they go.
well, you see, well, no, say I get hope.
National mind. Don't forget though, these guys are Harvard educated, London School of Economy.
Forget that thing about where they went and where they are Harvard educated. You see,
they are well educated. These are our leaders. All of them are well educated.
The one with the Vaso Rock. Now which screen go? Not be one. I beg you. Come on. Come on. Let's not promote these people like I see. Ovie, let's just go straight to the what you were asking me a while ago.
No, what I'm saying is not that they don't know what they are doing. Like they are aware.
They do not. They don't know what they are doing. Well, you can say they know what they are doing in the sense that they are just fighting. They're just fighting with their own pockets, but they don't understand the ramification. They don't understand the consequence of their actions. That if they leave that country the way it is, and it's going to continue like this. I bet, but maybe because they have a second passport, the third passport, they can always switch passport from passport and live in Nigeria. But the thing is that they know that one day their own great grandkids too. Someday they want to come back home. What are they coming back to? They don't think about all these things. And another thing that baffles me is that if these so-called elites we're talking about, like you said, they are Harvard educated, and with all this education that they have, they could also develop that country, like those countries that they are going to invest this money in. They could also be making money in that country, Nigeria. All those money they move abroad. If they could make Nigeria work, look at America here. We have so many billionaires here in America, and these billionaires are making work for other billionaires and other millionaires. Like Jeff Bezos now. Jeff Bezos has created so many millionaires. People who are trading on his Amazon. And these guys he created wealth. But our own billionaires, they don't create wealth. They carry money, they move it abroad to go and invest. Go and build a house in Dubai, go and buy a house in Singapore, in London, and in Paris. That's what they do.
They'll come buy Ferrari. They'll come park them for their compound. You know, if you drive them. Like, so, which kind of mentality? Who do us like this?
That's it. It has to do with the psyche, the mindset of an average Nigerian person. Because these leaders we're talking about, I mean, look at this now. Among the Labour candidates that won their elections, a lot of them, they just not too well. They know where to do people. They're just ordinary guys who just seize the opportunity and get the ticket, and they won. They rode on the obese wave, and they become House of Rep members. They become senators, and a lot of them now they are swimming in money. Now, those kind of people now, what would they do now? They'll also repeat the same spire of, okay, they'll make money, get contract, and move the money, go abroad. And you see, we can go on talk about this Nigerian problem. But my point is this: is that over here, asking me which way forward now. Honestly, I don't know how to tell you which way forward. I don't know. It's because are these people listening? I mean, I just gave you an example of one of such elites too, that we can call it elites among them. Almost nearing his grave. He's almost 70-something years now. He's nearing his grave now. He knows that maybe IS doesn't have more than 15 years to live on this earth. And he realized that my own kids and my grandkids, is this how I'm going to leave this place for them? I might be able to succeed to maneuver my way around this and get protection for my own kids. If I leave these kids behind, can they sustain these? Look at Abiola today. Abiola, all his wealth. Where are all his kids today? Where are those investments that was once the most richest man in Africa at one time? Abiola. But where is all his wealth today? So they can not be able to even. I don't know if Tinubu himself is thinking about that too. That the only reason why I'm having all these names and everything is because I'm still alive. But as soon as I die, can my son Sheyi can he even carry my legacy? Can any of the other kids that I have, can they carry on my legacy?
They can't.
They don't think about all of these things. They don't think about it. So my point is this: is that finding a solution to this matter for me, it's I just look at it that it's very, 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 very difficult for me to just say this is one way to go about it. But as long as we don't have this elite agreeing among themselves, Ovie, let me just leave it at that. I run out of idea as to how to solve this problem.
Abio, make I want to close. I don't want to do more than 2 hours so that people will feel watch them every more. So,
all right, Ovie, thanks a lot for having me.
I appreciate, man.
All right.
All right, my people. We will meet again tomorrow. I know who knows the the topic that I'm talking about is not what I put up anyway, but not the same. We'll do this again tomorrow, inshallah. Until then, ciao.